Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. And thank you very much for joining me. I've got a very, very exciting episode for you today. And I just wanted to thank miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. Thank you so much for your sponsorship, miskatonicbooks.com. It means the world to me, and I think it means the world to everyone watching who is very grateful to be able to continue having this show week in, week out. And if you don't know miskatonicbooks.com, go and check out their website. I've got a link down in the description. You'll be able to find them and you'll be able to find all the wonderful things that they've got. But folks, there is something very exciting on miskatonicbooks.com today. There's always exciting stuff, but today there is something very, very cool. So Zoanon Press are a very secretive publisher. It's very, very difficult to get hold of the books that they release, and they're always just really great books, kind of important books, you know. And it seems like they have a new release of the Grimoire of the Golden Toad by Andrew Chumbley. And this is actually one of the first things that I wanted to talk about today. And the only place that I can really find that is going to be selling this is miskatonicbooks.com. To buy directly from Zoanon, you have to be on their newsletter, and I cannot for the life of me find a way for the regular mortal to get onto their newsletter. I can't get onto their newsletter. So if you wanted to purchase a copy of Andrew Chumbley's very, very difficult to find book that was released in 2000, right? Just a few copies were released. And we're now getting an anniversary edition at a very reasonable price considering what this is, right? Well, if you wanted to purchase a copy, then you can get one directly through miskatonicbooks.com. And I'll give you a few more details about that in a second when I show you the actual listing on Zoanon Press, or rather absence of listing, as it were. But I would never have known about this if it weren't for miskatonicbooks.com. So thank you so much for keeping us updated. And folks, do go and check out their website. It is absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness, they got a copy of the Green Mysteries, like the special deluxe edition of the Green Mysteries. Very, very rare book right there. My goodness, yeah. Anyway, so I'll stop geeking out. Go and check them out. It's definitely going to be worth your time. So yeah, Zoanon Press have announced the Grimoire of the Golden Toad, which of course Andrew Chumbley released in 2000, so yeah, 25 years ago already, the late Andrew Chumbley, should I say. And there were only a few 77 standard copies at the time, right, and 3 special edition copies. Of course, at the time this wasn't a big thing at all, and it's only relatively recently that the work of Andrew Chumbley has become so popular, and because there are so few of his books available, the prices of his books have gone through the roof. And it's really, really nice to see that Zoanon Press are releasing this. But as I was saying in my little introduction there with miskatonicbooks.com, Zoanon Press are kind of operating on a... I don't think they're particularly interested in opening up to a wider public. And so if you want to purchase their books, you either have to get onto their mailing list, which I've not been able to do myself. I think you basically have to be a scholar in order to be able to do that. If you have a quick read of this, I think that's the case. But yes, you can find out the details of the book itself under Emanations. Oh, hold on. This is a link. Let me see if... Yeah, nothing at all. Okay. No, it's just a link to that particular article. But yes, no links to actually purchase it. So if you want to purchase it, it's either through miskatonicbooks.com or through what's the name? Courtyard Books, of course, in Glastonbury. Those are in Glastonbury, UK, right? So depending on where you are in the world, you might want to reach out to one or the other. Do be aware that Courtyard Books are not very good at making pre-orders widely available. Generally, if you want to get a book from Courtyard Books and you've heard that it's going to be available through Courtyard Books, don't wait for it to become available on their website as a pre-order. Reach out to the owner, who tends to just reserve copies for anyone who contacts him in advance. So be aware of that, okay? Courtyard Books in Glastonbury are just an amazing resource in the UK. But yes, just to be aware, just so you don't end up being disappointed, do reach out to Courtyard Books if you're in the UK and hoping to get a copy of the Grimoire, the Golden Toad 2nd edition. So this is kind of exciting news, right? What else do we have? There's a new 3-volume edition of Budge's original translation of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. So it's kind of been criticized for not being completely accurate, but do with that what you will. This 3-volume set reproduces the original translation, and therefore on the inside you're going to get hieroglyph by hieroglyph translations of the contents of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or should I say the Egyptian Book of Going Forth by Day, and I think that Budge translated that as coming forth into the light, right? Which isn't a completely faithful translation, as I was saying, but it was the first translation into English based on Champollion's translation, of course, into French. You get to see the hieroglyph by hieroglyph transliteration and translation into English. And that's kind of cool in itself, right? And it's a beautiful set, so you can check that out. And I think that $100 for a 3-volume hardcover set is pretty cool indeed, and that's being made available via the Museum of Tarot. So links to all of this down in the description as always. Okay, a couple of interesting finds on Amazon. So first of all, so it's a Brill production, so naturally it's kind of expensive. Brill academic publication, very well known for being super expensive, but so good. Oh my goodness, how exciting does this look? Methodology, texts and histories. So Solomonic magic has captivated imaginations for centuries, yet its definition remains elusive. It is a specialized branch linked to King Solomon, or a broader classification of practices attributed to him. Sorry, that was a question, is it? This book explores the mysterious world of demon subjugation, examining previously unknown texts in multiple languages, Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and more, to reveal the historical evolution of this magical tradition. Divided into 3 parts, the book presents analyses of key manuscripts and examines the historical influence of Hebrew texts on later traditions. Featuring many unpublished manuscripts, this book challenges previous scholarly assumptions and offers a new perspective on the textual network that shaped medieval and early modern magical works. I think that if you can afford it, folks, this is going to be a very, very important piece of work. I can't, but maybe some of you out there can. I'd be very, very excited to take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just extremely expensive, right? Just, classic Brill publication style. All right, let's move on to the next one. So, Ensouling the Effigy, the Witch's Art of Inspirited Objects. Very excited for this one. This is coming out in a couple of weeks' time. So, this is Matthew Venus and Adrienne Rossi. And Matt Oren writes the introduction, right? So, Adrienne Rossi is doing the illustrations. And this is a Crossed Crow book, I believe. Unlock the mysteries of poppet magic and fetish crafting with Ensouling the Effigy, a compelling guide that offers readers an in-depth exploration into the realm of spirit conjuration, spirit vessels, and otherworldly communication. This book is not just a manual, it's an invitation to journey into the art of animism, where the witch and spirits are inseparable. Within these pages, you'll discover techniques for creating puppets, effigies, and spirit houses that serve as vessels for spiritual entities and magical power. Learn to craft your own ritual oils, incenses, washes, and smokes with a comprehensive formulary that provides the key ingredients and instructions to infuse your practices with authenticity and botanical magic. Written for practitioners of the art, this book's unique blend of traditional practices will captivate anyone interested in witchcraft, magic, or spirit work. Whether you're looking to expand your magical toolkit or deepen your spiritual connections, Ensouling the Effigy offers a wealth of knowledge and inspirations for your journey. So, I'm a big fan of Matthew Venus's in general, and I think this is going to be a really exciting book, actually. There have been a few quite cool books coming out of Crossed Crow books recently, and I think this is one of those particularly exciting ones, so that's quite cool. Let's move on to Earth Magic, folks, a grimoire of nature spells. This is being offered via Rockpool Publishing, and they've been making quite a few nice magic related books recently. It's available as a Kindle edition as well as this very lovely, beautifully presented hardcover book. It looks really, really beautiful on the inside. Let's take a little read of the description. A beautiful treasury of nature-based spells from a popular expert. This guide explores the healing power of flowers, herbs, and trees. Explore the magical qualities and healing powers of plants with this beautiful collection of spells. Plants have the ability to heal, comfort, and nourish, and hold ancient energies that have been used to create magic spells throughout time. Tap into this magical power to facilitate change and find the support and inspiration you seek. In addition to spells for everything from protection, love, and relationships to self-care and modern life, the collection also features guidance on spell casting and spell crafting, including how to write and cast your own spells. I don't know, folks. I think this looks good. I think this is the kind of stuff that we should be seeing more of in the general press, and it's really, really nice to see. To see good, high quality stuff, beautifully presented, and hopefully accurate information in a format that is going to be appealing to the general public and be put on the bookshelves of mainstream bookshops, right? I think this looks very, very cool, and I'd love to get my hands on a copy myself. Okay, let's move on. Hickety Pickety was released just a couple of days ago on September 12th. A Witch's Guide to Folklore, right, by Keldon. Here we go. So let's take a little look over here. What is folklore and what does it have to do with witchcraft? For curious minds and magical practitioners alike, Hickety Pickety offers clear and compelling answers. Within these pages, readers will discover a thorough introduction to the study of folklore, what it is, how it works, and why it matters. Kind of an important point, right? A deep dive into the historical and contemporary relationship between folklore and the witch, a practical guide to conducting folklore fieldwork and collecting traditions with care and respect. Dedicated chapters on verbal, material, and customary folklore, each exploring how these forms appear in contemporary witchcraft and offering thoughtful ways to adapt and integrate them into personal practice. I think this looks great. It's not currently available on amazon.co.uk that I was able to find. I did a search by title and also by ISBN number. Wasn't able to find it on the .co.uk website. I don't know if it's going to arrive at some point in the future. I don't know. But all of the links that you'll find in the description here are associate links, and so I get a small percentage, right? I get a small commission on anything that you purchase via those links that are down in the description. And what else do we have? The Mother of All Religions, the genesis of Blavatsky's Theosophy, Ancient Theology, Orientalism, and Buddhism. The grandmother of the New Age not only inspired artists such as Kandinsky, Klee, Mondrian, Scriabin, I don't know Scriabin, Mahler, Sibelius, T.S. Eliot, and Khalil Gibran, but also founders of spiritual movements such as Rudolf Steiner and George Gurdjieff. In 1875, Blavatsky co-founded the Theosophical Society in New York, and in the remaining 16 years of her life, she authored all fundamental works of modern theosophy. Already in her lifetime, her society has had hundreds of branches in India and all over the world, and even today, sections and subsections of the movement are active in many countries of Asia and the West. She's extremely controversial, hailed by some of the most extraordinary women of the 19th century, as the most extraordinary woman of the 19th century, She was denounced by others as history's greatest charlatan. Her central claims were that she enjoyed direct contact with members of an esoteric Buddhism-associated brotherhood in Tibet who had initiated her to secret doctrines transmitted from the dawn of humanity, and that she had access to the world's most ancient religious scripture, the Book of Dzyan. So this seems like an open-minded... reasonably objective look into the figure of Helena Blavatsky. Potentially an interesting read. I think that she's an important figure to at least know a little bit about, regardless of where you fall on the spectrum of whether you find her like an inspiration and the most important occult figure ever, or if you actually think of her as rather a charlatan. So yeah, I think it could be an interesting one, this particular one, right? The Mother of All Religions. Okay, let's move on to The Cunning Man's Handbook, which is a book that came out a little while ago, in 2014. I like the way that this is coming up as the 214th edition. And in fact, if you have a look down here in the description, there's, 214th edition indeed. But of course, that is simply the date of the publication. So Jim Baker, it's just that it's a book that I didn't know about, so I'm telling you about it now. The desire to understand Magick in any specific cultural context is an intellectual puzzle, not only for scholars but believers, says Jim Baker. The Cunning Man's Handbook is a monumental work of phenomenal scope and scholarship, a comprehensive and challenging exploration of the practices and beliefs of cunning folk in Britain and America between 1550 and 1900. Their heyday. Exploring the social and theological milieu of the period, the author demonstrates the essentially Christian nature of cunning practices, presenting an illuminating discourse on the concept of magic and its perceived methodologies. I'm always interested in works that I didn't know about on cunning folk. I think that it's a fascinating tradition, a fascinating current that absolutely deserves just close examination, and so I'm very, very interested in all of this. As author Jim Baker states, the focus here is on the practice of folk magic and divination for access to the preternatural. So yeah, take a look. It's available as a paperback and also available in Kindle for a quarter of the price. Do check all of that out. I have a newsletter sign up available on my website, folks. So if you're interested in signing up to find out whenever I've got a new course running, or whenever I'm doing something exciting and something kind of that you might want to know about, if I'm releasing any kind of product, if I'm releasing any kind of service, if I'm just doing something a little bit special, I will tell you about it in this newsletter. So if you just go into www.foolishfish.net and you just wait for 2 seconds, I think it is, this will actually pop up. If you don't want to sign up to the newsletter, you can just click away over here. It's just a very, very standard add your email and add your name, your first name, and if you would like to add your last name, and let me know that you're not a robot, and sign up, and then you'll simply receive an email every time I've got something exciting or new to talk about. Like, for example, if I've got any special discount codes for my consultations, my one-to-one consultations, where I can read your tarot and all the rest. This is a massive plug if you hadn't worked it out. Yes, I also do one-to-one conversations where you can just simply ask me about anything that's on your mind, magic related or not, by the way, but it tends to be magic related when people call me. So you can book a consultation. I also have online workshops. So the previous online workshop on finding your divine path went extremely well, and I've got a new one that's coming up now. So it's on thaumaturgy. So essentially, it's the idea is that I'm going to be talking about the methods of practical magic, the methods available to the sorcerer for making things happen in the world, in the material sphere, right? So it's the Magus's Toolbox. So Find Your Divine Path is probably returning quite soon. I expect to do it again in about 6 months' time. But this one's happening in October, and it'll be 3 sessions this time. So I can show you over the course of 3 live online practical sessions. I'll be teaching you to harness the power of the unconscious mind to encourage life to bring you more of what you want and less of what you don't. Petition appropriate spirits to skew random events in your favor safely. Channel adequate energies and properties and watch as the world around you responds. Create magical objects that keep a frequency around you that you might be lacking. Use simple but effective divination tools to guide you towards more effective choices and decisions, and encourage reality to move in your chosen direction with the use of sacred language and symbols. So it'll be 3 90-minute classes held over Zoom. And each session will reserve about 20 to 30 minutes for a live question and answer session. And of course, you'll receive a recording of the session, slightly edited to cut out the ums and and ers. You'll receive that within 24 hours. So that's 3 Saturdays in a row from 4th of October to 18th of October, and it's at 7:30 p.m. Central European time. Pacific time, that's 10 a.m. on a Saturday, and standard Eastern time is I think it's 1:30 p.m. So I've tried to make it available at the most convenient times for you guys. So if you'd like to join in this class where we'll be talking about the various ways for making things happen via Magick, then sign up. I've tried to make sure, and I am going to be trying to make sure, that every single one of my workshops will be completely standalone, so that if it's the first workshop that you ever take, you won't be lost, right? So every single one of the workshops that I'm going to be offering will be standalone, and not necessarily even going over any of the material from another workshop, right? So there'll be, you can take them all, or you can just take one, and you'll get the information from that workshop, the way it's designed to be. So hopefully that'll be interesting for some of you guys. Don't forget that if you're a level 3 member, you have a code to get 25% off there. There we go. Let's check out news from Anathema Publishing, who are releasing some new originals from José Gabriel, Alegría, Sabogal, one of the world's most beloved esoteric artists right now, and all of these originals are being made available via Anathema Publishing's website. So I will leave a link down below so that you can find these amazing esoteric works of art. Down in the description. And I mean, you can see on your screens right now, right, just how amazing this is. I've got a couple of his posters. In fact, they're in my other flat, but this is just so beautiful. He's such a talented artist. He really gets it, in my opinion. There we go. Very, very cool stuff. And what else? Oh yes, there's the WitchStarter happening every October now, it seems. So Kickstarter, that I show you so many tarot decks from every week and so on. Well, around October every year, they do Kickstarter do WitchStarter, where they focus very much on magical stuff. And so if you just click on the WitchStarter banner, and I'll just leave a link down below. It's actually kickstarter.com/WitchStarter. You'll be able to see all the live projects that are directly associated to Magick, right? So some of them are novels, some of them are board games, some of them are tarot decks, some of them are oracle decks, and so on and so forth. Some of which I've featured on the channel before, some of which are completely new. And they're doing interviews and things like this. It's kind of exciting, so that's really nice. And then this is the particular oracle deck that I found this week that really caught my eye. This is all original artwork. You can tell that it's all original artwork. This is a deck that has taken 10 years, I think, to complete, and it just looks really, really lovely, really, really beautiful. I think it's 50 cards, and I don't know, the art style really appeals to me. I think this is great. I think this is a really truly talented artist, and it looks like just a really nice oracle deck. I'm getting a look at the production of the box, and let's have a look at the price. Yeah, I mean, that's very reasonable, $45. Very, very cool. As you can get some bundles with journals and things like that. And then my board game of the week is Andromeda's Edge. So Andromeda's Edge Genesis happens to be the expansion for Andromeda's Edge, but it's just a really nice opportunity to get like a Kickstarter version of Andromeda's Edge, which was one of my top 2 favorite games of last year. It's so good. It's so good. And all of these miniatures are just so much fun to work with. All of these are little buildings, and there are these little cubes down here that you place into buildings to show that they've been activated or whatever. Anyway, all the little pieces, they work really well together. These alien monsters that you're fighting against, they're all really beautiful sculpts. Sure, you can go ahead and buy the expansion as well, but if you don't have the base game, it's worth looking into. Now, if you're used to very, very basic board games, this is not a game for you, right? No, it is a complex game, and do expect to spend at least 3 hours at the table, right? If it's your first time playing it, could be closer to 5, but especially if you're with a group of friends who enjoy chatting. If you are a kind of a board gamer, if you've played a few board games, like, Dune Imperium is kind of a classic for you, or at least things like Lost Ruins of Arnak and things like that, then yeah, really look into this one. It is a lot of fun. So these are just a few of the sculpts from the expansion. Cosmic Frog, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It really, really is. And it's there are a lot of rules, but once you get your head around it, it's just so satisfying. It's great. It's very, very cool, and it's a good game. It's a really, really good game. All right, folks, I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much for watching. As every week, my heart goes out to absolutely everyone watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to every supporter of the channel. If you're a Foolish Fish member via YouTube memberships or Patreon, then a big, huge thank you to you for keeping me alive, folks. I really, really appreciate it. And do check out the workshops. If you've never taken a Magick workshop and you're kind of worried that it might be too advanced for you, don't worry. I'm really, really doing everything that I can to make things accessible for the absolute beginner, but also interesting for the advanced practitioner, so that everyone gets what I've promised in the title of whatever course I'm making, right? I'm going to try to make one of these self-paced courses that I've been promising over the next couple of weeks. That's going to be my goal by the end of the month, is to have one of those available. So yeah, wish me luck. No more information than that for quite yet, but I'll keep you updated with all the information. And if you want to know the information as soon as I have it, and be not miss out and be one of the first to sign up, the newsletter, just by logging out, by visiting foolishfish.net, and just wait 2 seconds and it'll pop up and invite you to sign up to the newsletter. And whenever that becomes available, you'll get an email. And don't worry, I'm not going to spam you every week with my latest and greatest videos and stuff like that. No, that's not what this is for. It really is literally for when I've got something special and exciting to announce. That's what I've got for you for this week, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Do take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you soon with another one. Take care. Bye-bye.